right. Hey guys, welcome back to Sun Crypto. It is March 27th, 2022, 10:17 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So in today's content now, we'll take a look at BTC on a macro view. Once again, we'll take a look at BTC on a quarterly basis all the way down to the daily time frame, right? Or even down to the 6-hour to a 12-hour time frame and all that good stuff. And we will take a look at the volume after that next, right? We'll take a look at all the moving averages from the monthly all the way down to the lower degree, and we will take a look at BTC at the same time in terms of wave analysis and what type of wave structure, both on the macro view and on the lower degree, because the lower degree, it is printing a potential WXY ABC correction, flat correction, whatever you want to call it, right? We will see if it will play out on the low degree and all that good stuff. And finally, we will take a look at Zcash, Iota, VeChain, and Filecoin. And maybe if I have time, we will talk about Balancer and CRV. So that's what we will be talking about today. So let me know who let the bulls out. So it seems like all the bulls they are the caves, right? So hey, what's up? Who me? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. It's been a while. Who me? Who you? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. So let me see if who else in the chat room. Hey, what's up, Craig? Thanks a lot for tuning in. I will check out Bond USD after the live stream, right? Bullish Crypto. Hey, what's up, Bullish Crypto? Thanks a lot for tuning in. All the bulls out now. Hank in the house. Thanks a lot, man. Mr. Filecoin, Litecoin, and Tezos. Okay, so now let's start off with the quarterly time frame, right? So I guess I don't need to do a sound check today, right? 8 minutes sound check yesterday, right? So now if we take a look at BTC on a quarterly, the quarterly, it is starting to look good, guys. Basically, bears, they just got to be cautious at least for the next 3 to 4 days until we close the quarterly time frame and the monthly time frame. So there is no need to be in rush for the bears to basically try to short the market over the next a couple of days, because the quarterly time frame, it is going to close, and BTC will close what most likely going to try to close the quarterly time frame bullish, meaning we will close above the yearly open. Okay, we will close above the yearly open, and the yearly time frame, it is very important. It is very important to keep an eye on it, because we talk about it the first week of January. Okay, what we said was if we take a look at BTC on the yearly cycle, right, no single yearly candle closed below, right, its previous yearly cycle. Okay, bearish. Okay, so no single yearly cycle, okay, closed below its previous yearly cycle. Basically, that's the easiest thing. So it simply means we've been making what, high lows for the last 12 years. And I said it the first week of what, the first week of January. So I was like, okay, the deepest we could get could be somewhere around the monthly 50 EMA. However, we will be paying attention to the the monthly 21 EMA. So if you've been watching the channel, our channel, over the last, at least over the last 3 months, we've been talking about the the 21 EMA on a monthly basis, right? And I made sure I was talking about it every single week. That way no one will come and say, hey, you never talk about the monthly 21, because I talk about it. And I said, guys, if we dump down to the monthly 21, yes, we can dump lower. However, it could take 3 to 6 months before we break out below the monthly 21. So the best thing to do is just reaccumulate at the monthly 21, and at the weekly 100 EMA. We will talk about the weekly 100 EMA and why the weekly 100 EMA, it is also very important, right? So going back to the quarterly, it looks pretty good. However, we got to close above 57k. Okay, our road to 180k will only start if and only if we can close a quarterly cycle, not weekly, not monthly, not 3 weeks, not 1 second chart. Okay, quarterly, 3 month time frame. Okay, we got to close above 57. not 62, not 69. We just got to close above 57. And why 57? Because based on Fibonacci, right, our resistance right here 1.27. okay, it depends how you want to, if you draw it accurately, it is at 57. okay, but 57 to 61 on a quarterly is good enough, right? So if we can close above 57, we will be closing above 1.27 extension, right? Regarding the Fibonacci extension, right? And our next extension going to be what? Going to be 1.41. We talked about it over the last 3 months, okay? December, January, February, okay? We did not talk about the road to a 180 in February, but I will talk in March actually, okay? But I will talk about it in April, right? The road to 180, okay? So, but once again, we got to take out 57K on a quarterly basis, not 1 week, not weekly, not 1 second, not 1 minute chart and all that good stuff, right? So quarterly, it is still looking pretty good. So even though we're pushing to the upside, we still got to keep an eye on what? Our monthly 50 and you know, quarterly 21. Right now the quarterly 21 EMA, it is at 22K, right? So if we close the candle like that, the quarterly 21 EMA could be somewhere around like 24K, which is basically what we've been saying over the last few months, okay? The quarterly 21, it is roughly equal to your you know, monthly 50 EMA slash MA, right? So depending on how you want to look at it, but it is roughly the same. They're roughly at the same price level, right? So we know our resistance on the quarterly basis, right? Next resistance, you know, the shorter term resistance is at 52, but it will be, you know, we will talk about it like next quarter if we do not take out the 52 this quarter, meaning like over the next like 3 to 4 days, okay? If we take out 52, we know 57 going to be the next quarterly resistance, but we only got like 2 supports on a quarterly basis, right? In terms of price, once again 30K, and in terms of moving average, it is going to be the quarterly 21 EMA, depending on where it is going to be at, because we don't know if BTC moves sideways over the next like couple of quarters. The quarterly 21 EMA could be even somewhere around like 30K, so we just don't know. We can still go up to like, let's say 65, 69 and get rejected on a quarterly basis and don't close above 57 and retest like, you know, the quarterly 21 EMA over the next like a few quarters. It could even be like, you know, in 2023. I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that's what we'll, you know, that's what we will get, but I'm just speculating. So you guys can be ready for anything, okay, in terms of the macro view, okay? But overall, okay, if I were to summarize the BTC on a macro view, we all know on a 12-month cycle, BTC, the trend, it is still up, okay? It is still up. I just don't expect like we will close the cycle below 30K, and I said it the first week, the first week of January 2022, and I said I don't expect like you know, BTC bears to close the yearly cycle below 30K. Could we retest below? Yes, below 30K, yes, we could. All right, but I just don't expect it, okay? If I'm wrong, well, that would be the first time we're closing below the previous yearly low, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC now on a monthly basis, right? So the monthly basis, as we've been expecting, all right, when back in December, you guys recall, after we got our late November rejection, okay, and we closed the candle below the 3D 21 EMA, right? What was our directional target? Monthly 21 EMA. Okay, so I've been saying the monthly 21 EMA, it is a good support to keep an eye on over the next like a few months, because it could take like 3 to 6 months based on the previous price history. It took like 3 to 6 months to close below the monthly you know, 21 EMA, as you can see right here. Yes, back in 2014, if you are bear, you will forget about what happened back in 2018 and 2019, and you're going back to you know, 2018, and you're gonna be like, okay, 2014 actually, right? Back in 2014 right here, you know, the first retest of the 21 EMA was bearish, and after that we got 2 bullish monthly candles before dumping down to the monthly 50 EMA. That's the only you know, bearish argument bears can make on the macro view. They can make a lot of argument on a low degree, but in terms of like a you know, macro view, that's the only bearish argument I could, develop over the next like a few months, just in case we do get some hard selling pressure and having to retest the monthly 50 EMA of the next like few months and all that good stuff, right? So monthly 21 EMA, it is looking good. We at 46 resistance. Support, it is still going to be 30k if we get any shakeout on a monthly basis, and after that, we got the monthly 50 EMA right now, roughly around like 25k. Okay, and if you want to add your monthly 50 EMA, right now it is at 20k. Okay, depending on which exchange you're using, but it is at 20k, right? So that's the deepest price level I would expect, right, if we get any sort of rejection. But we will talk about BTC in term of basically Elliott wave and all that good stuff, right? That's going to be the let's say fourth topic, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a weekly basis. So if we take a look at BTC on a weekly basis, all the bears going to be celebrating this week. Why bears are going to be celebrating? The weekly MACD just flipped bullish. Okay, the weekly MACD just flipped bullish. Okay, just like XRP, guys. I don't know if I will have time to talk about XRP on the higher time frame, but XRP weekly MACD also just popped bullish, guys. So that's the good news going into Q2. So if you take a look at it right here, weekly MACD popped bullish, right? We got some sort of a descending trend line resistance. So it means like the trend it got a long way to go, right, in term of bullishness, because we still haven't haven't taken out the trend line resistance right here. But the good news, guys, the most important thing right now is like bears, okay, they kind of been weak over the last couple of weeks, and let bulls manage to close above the weekly 21, so we can't just ignore it. All right, so plus we got our MACD right here just popped bullish. Okay, so there is no argument on a weekly basis. Okay, in terms of wave analysis, we will take a look at it. Okay, we will talk about the flat correction right here on in terms of wave analysis, but on a weekly basis it looks pretty good. It just have bears just have to stay out of the way. Probably BTC could be pushing all the way up to 52. Okay, the volume, we will take a look at the volume and all that good stuff too, okay, later on, right? So bulls, they in control on a weekly basis, okay, after the weekly close right there above the weekly 21 EMA. Now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 3 weeks basis. So the 3 weeks basis, we managed to close above the 21 EMA. So it is kind of impressive, okay, because over the last few months we've been talking about the 3 weeks 21 EMA right here. Okay, we said, okay, if we close above it, that could change the momentum. Okay, but we would be expecting like some hard rejection, and we did get some hard rejection, like for like a nearly 3 cycle. Okay, 3 times 3, you got 9 weeks. For like 9 weeks, bulls couldn't basically close above the 21 EMA, and we finally close above the 21 EMA. So the next thing we could anticipate to confirm the 3D not 3D but 3 weeks reversal, it is going to be MACD right here to flip bullish. And in order for MACD to flip bullish, BTC will need to take out at least 52 over the next like a few weeks. Okay, it could take like, let's say 6 weeks, okay, to get this MACD to flip bullish, unless we get a big pump like to take out like 65-67k area in like 3 weeks time frame, and this guy will be forced to flip bullish, just like what happened right here. Okay, you see what happened right here? This pop basically pushed the MACD to flip bullish. And if you take a look at it in terms of percentage move, this guy was like 60% move. Okay, so if we get another 60% move, I'm not saying we will, I'm just trying to give you the the scenarios to get the MACD to flip bullish. Okay, but I'm not saying like, okay, we will be popping to the upside. Yes, everything is looking good right now for BTC, right? We can't ignore it. Okay, just like we did not ignore the downtrend back in November, December, actually the first week of December, we did not ignore the downtrend, so we cannot ignore the bullishness right here. So we just have to be honest to ourselves. If market is bullish, you say it is bullish. If it is bearish, you just say it is bearish, and we just suck it up, right? And all that good stuff, right? So keep an eye on BTC on the 3 weeks. We just got another pop above the 3 weeks to 1 EMA, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a 3D basis. So the 3D basis, you know, we were basically we were being very I would say like very cautious, right? Even though we were bearish, right, on the downtrend, right, we were cautious. The reason why we were cautious was like the 3D MACD was still pointing up. So we took like multiple trades in this range, like buying the dips at 35, selling at 40, 43, 45, buying the dips at 35, 34, selling the tops at 43, 45, right? But I did not short, right here, okay? Did not short at 43, 45. The reason I did not short was like I took a Ether short, okay? Ether, I was like, okay, let me test the market, because if BTC going to be reversing, Ether will be forced to reverse itself. Okay, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna short Ether. If Ether fails, right, it means like bang, the market most likely going to be pushing higher, and if they push higher, you know, Alt going to push higher, and you can take multiple long entry and all that good stuff. So Ether got taken out. I was like, okay, no need to be shorting BTC, because we could take out like 46 unless we get another, you know, reversal pattern, right? So as you can see right here, did not basically mess with BTC at 43 to 45, even though it was a resistance area. Since we retested it like 3 times, right here, right, I was like, okay, let's not mess with it. MACD, it is positive. MACD, it is positive. And excuse me, guys. Right, so as you can see right here, MACD, even though we retested like 35, 33, 34 multiple times, right, MACD on the 3D refused to crossed negative, right? And I was like, okay, so our biggest enemy, since like we bearish right here, our biggest enemy going to be our MACD. Since like MACD is positive, there is no need to basically be in rush, because as long as MACD going to stay positive, right, we won't get a hard dump. Okay, we can get like, you know, maybe 10, 15 or even 20% dump, right? But we won't get like a capitulation. Okay, MACD has to basically flip negative, right, for the trend to, you know, for the trend to give us a strong bearish momentum, like what happened right here. Okay, so right there we were bearish all the way down to 35. Okay, right here, even though we shorted it a couple of times, bought the dip again from the short at 52 all the way down here, you know, we just did not mess with it. Okay, so mess with it at 43 to 46 and just waited for a clear confirmation on the 3D. So if we get a 3D negative crossover over the next like a few weeks, if the 3D going to be pumping much higher, it means like BTC will be pushing, even breaking above the 52. Okay, so something to keep in mind going forward. You could try to draw a 3D resistance line, something like that. It is still valid, right? But we will see if we will get any sort of rejection, okay, on the lower degree. So let's move on to the daily time frame now. So if we take a look at BTC on the daily, so my first, you know, red flag was right here. Okay, after we crossed bullish again on the daily. So my argument back then right here was like, okay, since like our our MACD is getting rejected right here, we could make a lower low right there. But after we cross bullish right there, you can see like daily just started to pushed much higher, and we took out the 45, right, give or take 45, 46 resistance, which was our previous previous support back in December right there. So now we could consolidate right here on a daily basis, but the main thing to keep an eye on is like MACD. It is still pushing higher, your RSI, it is not that overextended. It is only at 68. Even if it retraced lower down to like 57, we still got like plenty of room to go. So we got to get the MACD to flip negative over the next like a few days. If you're bearish, if you're bullish, right, you just stay with the trend, okay? Because next resistance, it is up to like a 51.7 to a 52K. All right. And in terms of Fibonacci, you can see like right there, if we do a swing high down to swing low, right, we just hit what, 50% pullback, but I'm ignoring the 50% pullback because it is so close to the resistance area right here. That's why I'm only paying attention to the 0.618, okay, because we got a good price confluence like what we had back in December, right? Remember when we said at 52, just wait at 35 to get back in, okay? And that was a nice, a nice 36% dump. All right. So let's see if BTC will take out the 50% pullback at 47.8, and after that it will be it could be interesting to see what will happen at 52, right? So you're going to be like, since like we could be retesting 52, are we going to get any supports before going up to a 52? Yes. So what we will be paying attention to right now, it is going to be the 6 hour 21 EMA right here. Okay, 6 hour 21 EMA down to the 100 EMA. They have to support the price. They have to support the uptrend because everything looks good. Okay, BTC, it is above the monthly 21, right? If we go back to the monthly, right, BTC is above the monthly 21 EMA, right? It is above the 3 weeks 21 EMA, right? It is above the weekly 21 EMA. It is above the daily 21 EMA. I mean 3D 21 EMA, right? And it is above the daily 21 EMA. And at the same time, it is still above the what? The 12-hour 21 EMA. So bears, as of now, they just don't have enough argument to basically make a strong bearish case. Okay, so if we get any pullbacks, we just have to rely on the 6 hour 21 EMA on the lower degree and 6 hour 100 EMA. Okay, these two moving averages over the next like a few days, they're going to be supporting the price if we want to take out like 52, 55, 57 and all that good stuff, right? That's the 100 EMA and that's the 21 EMA. Okay, so they have to support the price. So it means like we could get some volatility in this range. It could even be a wedge pattern. It could be a bull flag. I just don't know. But we just have to keep an eye on these two moving averages over the next like a few days, right? RSI, it is not that overextended. 82, it is okay. Any pullbacks right here can still give us a high move. Okay, so something to keep in mind going forward on a low degree, right? So now let's take a look at BTC in terms of volume. That's going to be the next topic, right? So if we take a look at BTC in terms of volume, okay, we've been talking about the volume. We know we will get a big volume. Okay, we just don't know when will we get the volume. Okay, but we are 100% sure, right? The volume will not go to zero. I can bet like I can bet like everything, like BTC will not, the volume for BTC will not go to zero. All right, it means like no one will be buying and selling BTC, right? So at some point we're going to get a big volume. I just don't know if we're going to get it like this month. I mean, the monthly is already over, so I don't think like we will get it anyway. Right, so I don't think like we will get it this month, but we could get it in April. So if the spike in volume, so forget about the prices. Okay, now we will talk about volume. All right, if the spike in volume going to be green, okay, right here, right? If the spike in volume going to be green, we got a, we got a very high probability, right, to see higher prices, okay, to see higher prices. I'm not saying like 60k, 57k and all that good stuff. All I'm saying is it means like the trend, right, will be continuing to the upside. Remember, the trend been moving sideways, so we haven't seen a reversal yet for BTC. So the trend started like at 4k. That's a trend. So this is nothing but a sideways correction. So in order to say a reversal, we got to break what? We got to break out below 30k. So the only thing we can say on a macro review is what? Continuation. Okay, so but reversal, right, we can say reversal because we're not reversing, okay, we're just moving sideways. So let's say you got a move like that, okay, like that. So what would you call this move? A continuation. What would you call this move? A reversal, right? Because the trend started right here. This move right there, the triangular descending triangular formation, was nothing but a sideways correction. So that's what BTC is doing right here. It is not a descending triangle, but you get the concept. So a continuation would be getting a big volume, right, a green one, and to take out the all-time high right there, right? So but if we get also a red volume, it means like bears could be jumping and humping and all that good stuff and calling for a bear market. But at the same time, it could be the end of the correction. Okay, remember we're correcting. So a correction most of the time ends with what? With a high volume. Okay, so it could end with a high volume in red, or it could end with a high volume in green. Okay, so you got to do your homework now. All right, that's all you need to know regarding the monthly volume. So if you're bearish, you know what to look for. If you're bullish, you know what to look for. Okay, I'm not telling you to go long, buy, or sell, or buy the dip and all that good stuff, but you got your homework, right, for the monthly volume. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC now in terms of Elliott wave, right? What's up, Izmir? Stan G. This guy Tezos, it is almost at $4, man. Hopefully you guys been accumulating Tezos at 3.5 down to a 2.5, because if we pump above like $15-20, hopefully bulls not gonna be like, oh, are we coming back down to 3.5, right? Because you got like 3 months to accumulate Tezos in that range. Okay, it was a very wide range, 2.5 to up to a 3.5 and all that good stuff, right? Before we talk about Filecoin, all that good stuff, let's just focus on the BTC on in terms of wave analysis, right? So now we know our directional move. For BTC in terms of wave analysis is up, right? Let's go right here. So now when we take a look at BTC in terms of wave analysis, so we just have to recap what we said, right, in 2020, because it is very important. You can just go ahead and draw any lines you want, but we've been pretty accurate since 2020, right? So if you recall what we said back in 2020, we said the move we had right here at 3k, right, up to 14k was what? Our wave 1. Okay, and the move we, the dump down to 4k back in 2020 was what? Our wave 2. and we said we're going to get our wave 3 potentially all the way up to a 44k or higher, right? And that's exactly what we got, and I'm going to explain to you guys why 44k, right? So if you do something like that, you got 1, 2, and 3, okay? But the wave, the wave 4 ended up being at 65k instead of 44k, right? Which is even better, right? And we said we're going to correct, okay? After that, we're going to correct. We don't know what type of correction. Back then, what I said was like, we don't care, right? We just want to get to 44k or higher, and after that we will take care the correction, right, on the macro view, because we don't know how long it will take, right? And at the same time, what type of correction we're going to get, right? This entire correction could have been a zigzag formation, okay? It could have been a wedge pattern, something like that. So we just did not basically pay too much attention to the next correction. We just wanted to get to 1.618 extension. So speaking of 1.618 extension, you got your wave 1 right there. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4, right? 3 actually right there. We got 4 possibly right here, and we're looking for wave 5, right? So what we were saying back in 2020, we said, okay, if we're going to look for 1.618 extension of our wave 1, it is going to be right there at 44k. Could it be higher? But the directional move, remember, that was like back in September. That's when we started calling for 44k, and BTC was at, like, let's say 11 to a 13k range, and we were calling for 44k, okay? And we ended up getting 1.41 extension all the way up to 65k. So if you take a look at it right now, right, we're looking for our wave 3, okay? I mean our wave 4 actually, okay? Our wave 4 could be already done, okay? It could be done. Why it could be done, right? Remember what I just said regarding the correction, right? So now we said we either can get a running flat, or we could get a nice expanded flat. What's the difference between running and expanded? Okay, that's expanded. That's expanded right here, and that's running. What's the difference? Okay, what is the difference? You guys can see, right, when it comes to running, right, we break the top and we don't break the bottom, okay? And when it comes to expanded, you break the top and you break the bottom, okay? Or sometimes you can even, sometimes you get a regular one, something like that, but we don't care about a regular flat, right? Because we don't have any chance of making a regular flat right here. We can either make a an expanded flat or a running flat, but right now the running flat looks like it is already 90% done. So what does it mean? The running flat is 90% done. The running flat is 90% done. It means, right, BTC could just continue pushing higher. So it doesn't necessarily have, it doesn't necessarily have to retest like 30k. It can shoot up to the upside. And I said it, guys. I told you back in January, December, if we hit the 0.76, 0.888 range or the monthly 21, we just don't know if we will break it, because we don't know if we will get a running flat. Okay, a good example is Zcash. So if you take a look at Zcash, right, take a look at the correction we got right here. A beautiful one, okay? This one, we retested the top and retested the bottom, okay? But if we go back to BTC, right, we retested the top, right? Retested the top, right? And as of now, right, it is still above the bottom. Okay, so Zcash basically printed a nice regular flat, right? We tested the top, we tested the bottom, but sometimes you just don't know. You just don't know what the market will do. You just don't know what the market will do. So, but you just have to anticipate all scenarios, right? So the number one scenario we were anticipating was the running flat. Now we're making a running flat, and it is already 90% done. It is already 90% done. So BTC, if bulls can show up with some good volume, bears won't have enough argument based on Elliott wave to call for lower prices based on the monthly basis. okay, based on the monthly basis, right? As of now, they just don't have enough argument to stay bearish. You see what I'm saying? I know it is harsh to watch BTC dump from like 55, you are bearish all the way down to 34, and you are still bearish. And I said it, guys, don't be bearish at the monthly 21 EMA. Don't be bearish, because we don't know how long it'll take to break it. I said it multiple times. And I showed you guys multiple examples right here and right there. Okay, that's one of the reasons why we were buying the dips at 33 to 35, the first the first retest of it, okay, to accumulate for the next like a possible run up. Yes, if it dumps below it, your next macro buy support, okay, it is going to be the monthly 50, okay, all right, something like that, right, or monthly 50 MA, right? So what we're looking at right now in terms of next move to the upside is like we could anticipate a possible one-to-one extension of our wave one. Okay, remember our wave one right here, what we were looking for wave 3 to be, right? We were looking for our wave 3 to be 168% higher, right, than wave 1, right? And we got like nearly 100 and let's see right there, right there, right here. So we got nearly 180%. Okay, 180%, not 1.41, but 180% extension of wave 1. You see, so our wave 3 was 180% bigger than actually 80% bigger, right? But 180% extension, right? So you get what I mean, right? So now our wave 5, what we're looking for, it is going to be, right, if 30K is the bottom, we could just anticipate what one-to-one extension, okay, meaning like right here, one-to-one extension will take us all the way up to 130, roughly, give or take, right, depending on how you how accurate you are, right? Meaning like if we're going to expect like the same move we had back in 2019, right, when BTC bottomed at 3K and pump to 14K, right? If we're going to expect the same magnitude, right, that it is going to take us all the way up to 130K. So the easiest way to do it also is like to do something like that, right? That gives you nearly a 150% move. So you do another 150% move from here. Okay, right there. That's the same thing. It'll give you like a one-to-one extension. But if you want to do like 1.27 and all that good stuff, you have to use your Fibonacci, because otherwise you're going to be you're not going to be that accurate doing it that way. Okay, so the easiest way to do it is just to do it by percentage move if you're looking for one-to-one, right? But if you're looking for anything higher than one-to-one, you want to use your Fibonacci just to be more accurate, right? But if you're good with math, you can do it this way too, right? It doesn't really matter, right? So basically, based on Elliott wave, we're going to be looking for our wave 5. We're just not sure, once again, right, 100% sure if BTC, okay, going to take out the 57K on a quarterly basis, and we're definitely going to be looking for the one-to-one extension. We could be greedy, right, and look for 1.27 going to be all the way up to 180 to 100K depending on the volatility. Okay, remember, it is just directional move. These are not targets, they just direction. You see what I'm saying? The difference between direction and target is like when you're looking for direction, you just want to go towards that price target. You could go higher or you could be short, okay? But if you're looking for a target, that's what you're looking for. That's where you want to get out. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to get out at 130. It could be 150. It could be 180. It could be even 200K. Just like what happened right here. We were looking for what, 44K, right, to be the 1.618 extension, but we ended up getting 1.786 and extension. Okay, 1.786, right? Basically 1.8 to just round it up, right there. Hopefully it makes sense, right? Hopefully it makes sense. I talked about it in my premium back in, I think, January, the first week of January, and I was like, okay, if we retest this area, let's just give it give it a shot and don't be too bearish, right? If you want to be bearish, just be bearish right after we break out below the 3D21. That way you got enough time and enough momentum to retest the monthly 21, and after that you can, think about what, you can basically re-strategize and see if BTC will follow your setup and all that good stuff. Hopefully it makes sense. So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC on a lower degree in terms of wave analysis. Okay, so in terms of wave analysis, we know the we already talked about the flat correction right here. So it is a WXY. You could call it ABC correction or WXY, but it is a flat correction. Okay, so however, okay, on the lower degree, some bears will be basically looking for the move we got right here. So forget about the big move, but just this move right now, okay, to be what? Very corrective. Yes, it is corrective, but remember, every bottom formation starts with a very corrective wave structure. No bottom formation starts with a very impulsive wave. You can go back and take a look at BTC on the macro view. Okay, right here, we did not start the bottom formation with a impulsive wave. The bottom formation was very choppy. Okay, it was very choppy, and we finally broke out to the upside. Okay, this could be the choppy range of the bottom formation. That is possible. Okay, I'm not saying it is, but that's possible, because every single bottom formation will be very choppy. Okay, that's why they call it bottom formation, right? So now in terms of wave analysis, you could be saying, hey, this could be a WXY correction. Okay, you could even say a flat correction, but it looks like a WXY correction. It is better to look at it that way. All right, yeah, it could be a WXY correction, and you could be looking at a potential continuation to the downside if you're only looking at it on the lower degree, because you can't see it on a monthly basis. So if I'm trading BTC on a monthly basis, I'm not gonna sit right here, right, and just saying like we're going to dump. Okay, I'm not, just because I can't see anything on the monthly basis. The only thing I can see on the monthly basis is like the big WXY correction. That's it. That's the only thing I can find, right? But if you go on the lower degree, right, so bears could be saying, hey, we could print this pattern. Okay, and I'm keeping an eye on it too, right, just in case it ended up being a valid pattern for a bearish setup to look for lower prices, because we got a similar pattern back in 2019, right? Back in 2019, I nailed it right here. I nailed it right there. Okay, you can go back and watch all my videos back in 2019, summer 2019. I nailed this move. Okay, beautifully. All right, it was a nice WXY correction. Okay, and that's exactly what we said. We're going to dump down to the 6K area. Yes, we ended up getting a nice fake out to the upside, but you get the concept. Okay, you get the concept, right? So let's just pay attention to it. I'm not saying it will play out, because in terms of indicators, as I said, we got to take out what the 6-hour 21, 6-hour 100 EMA and all that good stuff. And if we take out those lower moving averages, right, on a lower degree, right, and MACD and all that good stuff start to flip negative, yes, we're going to give a pretty good attention to the WXY correction right there. Okay, we're going to give it a good shot, right? So I think we're done with our wave analysis. So now we're going to move on to this alt. Okay, the first one going to be Zcash. So Zcash BTC, we just analyzed Zcash BTC, right, not too long ago, right? And someone asked regarding Zcash and said, hey Sen, do you think we're going to dump? I was like, okay, Zcash at this range of 100 sats, it is a good buy, right? And the only way you're going to be you're going to see a pretty good setup is like if we break out below the 90 sats extensively, and you could be looking for the mid 50s as the next support. However, MACD, it is looking good, so, and it is in a wedge pattern, so you don't want to be bearish at the end of the wedge pattern, right? And the entire market is pumping to the upside. So it is still a good hold, you know, because the next macro resistance is going to be all the way up to 60, right? So that's exactly what we said. So I said it long time ago in my premium also, when Zilliqa hit the 100 sats. I was like, guys, it is time to accumulate it, because Zilliqa, I remember exactly what happened right here, you know, back in November, you know, November 2020, after we got that first pump, right? And you might be like, okay, we're going to wait for a retest so I could just you know, shoot up to a 400k. So it is still a good hold. Yes, you know, bulls might want to take some profits just in case we do retest the 150, okay, all the way down to like a 140 supports for add-on for the next like a potential continuation. Okay, if it is a fake out, it can still do something like that. It is still going to be a good level to reaccumulate on the macro scale, because you're going to get your double bottom, 3 years double bottom. Okay, the first bottom was like back in September 2019, right? So if we ever retest like 55, that's going to be nearly 2.5 to 3 years of double bottoming. So it means like it is still going to be a good hold. So, and I said it, I like Zilliqa and I like VeChain, right? Let's take a look at ZIL USDT. It's a lot of stuff right out there you can like, right? It's a lot of stuff out there you can like. Okay, so ZIL, we were trading it on the lower degree last Monday, I think, right? And I talked about it in my premium, right? I was like, okay, ZIL looks pretty good. It looks pretty good, guys. It was looking pretty juicy. Okay, so we said, okay, you know, it looks like Filecoin, and at the same time kind of looked like a Ether Classic, right? And Ether Classic pumped all the way up to the December prices, and Zilliqa said, hold my beer, right? I'm going all the way up to the October prices right there, right? So you know, nice pump. So if you took it, beautiful move. You just have to take profits, because it is not going to be pumping forever. It is likely to cool off, create another bull flag and all that good stuff. So you know, make sure to take profits. In terms of dollar support, short-term support going to be all the way down to like 80.08. Okay, 0.08 over the next like a few days or even weeks. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at VET. John Do in the house, what up, man? Thanks a lot for tuning in, man. So we got that break above 45. Yeah, we got that break above 45. So this guy also gave us a nice 30% pump, and we can still, you know, go all the way up to our December resistance. Remember that December resistance right there coincides with what? Coincides with the BTC 52k resistance, right? So it looks pretty good. If you took it, right, we talked about it over the last few days. If you took it, just put a stop loss and let it do the work. It could create a bull flag right here, but it still got like some good you know, some good momentum over the next like a few days and so on, right? If we take a look at it on the 3D, we got plenty of room to grow, right? Take a look at the 3D. The 3D, it is still in, you know, it is still in the negative part of the you know, MACD. So you got like plenty of room, okay, to push higher over the next like a few weeks and so on, if we're going to continue the alt season, right? Alt mini season. So basically next resistance just about like 10 cents, okay, give or take, right? And support going to be roughly around like a 0.08. No, right there, just about like 0.08 was for Zilliqa right here, okay, 0.068, which was the first target, right? So let's take a look at VET BTC now. So VET BTC just got a nice pump, right? So got rejected by the 3D 100 EMA, right? MACD just flipped bullish, right? It is a nice divergence, right? You could look at it that way, but I'm looking at the weekly time frame. We got to get the weekly to flip bullish. So the weekly just flipped bullish. That's a good sign. Remember right here, we were looking for V-chain to push to the upside. But remember, we said, okay, if the weekly MACD doesn't flip bullish, right, we're most likely not going to get a strong move. So it did not flip bullish, so we basically dumped to the downside. Now we got a bullish cross up, so don't ignore the pump. Okay, it could be a mega pump over the next like a few weeks. Okay, if BTC doesn't do anything crazy. Okay, however, if MACD does, if MACD does something crazy and we ended up moving sideways, we could be looking for the 100 sats to 90 sats, for the next support. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, it is not yet breaking out above the resistance like 170, 200 sats. If it does, we could be saying, okay, we could be waiting for our 1000 sats over the next like a few months. Okay, because Zilliqa, I got a target up to 1000 sats next, right? Not Zilliqa, but VChain. Okay, Zilliqa about like 600 sats, right? Hey, what's up, Peter Ting? We will take a look at Mana. Peter, we talked about Mana last week when it was like around, I can't remember, but we talked about Mana and Tether in our premium ICP, Filecoin, and all that good stuff, right? Hey, what's up, Osman? Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot, Peter. Thanks a lot, man. Vitas NJ, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Who let the bulls out, man? Let me know. Let me know. I think the circle guy let the bulls out. I haven't watched the circle guy. Let me know what the circle guy is saying. Is he saying we're still going to be dumping? Like, that's the thing with BTC. If you basically bearish on BTC, let's say 12 month around, yes, you're going to get a 50% dump. Okay, BTC doesn't pump like 10x in every 12 months. So if you are bearish on BTC right now, let's say you bearish on BTC at 46, okay, 47, and sucker pump all the way up to 100k, 130k, and you still bearish, you got a pretty good chance, right? BTC can drop like 30%, right? Or even more, right? More than 30% and drop down to 100k. So I think that's what most of these bears been doing since 2020. Okay, if you recall, after BTC broke out above 11.5, I was a bear at 10k. Don't get me wrong. I was calling for a retest, of 50% to 0.618. But after we broke out, I just stick to my Elliott wave, because the Elliott wave and my 50-day cycle was just telling me, just suck it up. Okay, don't try to be a hero and try to basically short the top and all that good stuff. Just suck it up. The Elliott wave is calling for 44. It is at 11.5, 12k. You got nearly 400% move, right? 300% move and all that good stuff. Just suck it up, and we ended up getting a 7x after that, right? So it is good to be bearish if the market is bearish, but if the market want to change momentum, you just have to go with the momentum. You're not here to be a bear or to be a bull. You're just here to follow what the market is doing. Okay, and that's the easiest way you can get a nice peace of mind. You don't care what BTC does. If it goes up and everything looks good, you stay with the trend. If it goes down, everything looks bad, you stay with the downtrend. Nothing else. You're not here to be a Satoshi or to be a Vitalik and all that good stuff. You're just here to buy the dips, sell the tops. That's it. Okay, that's your that should be your goal. But your goal shouldn't be like whether you call the top or you call the bottom. We call multiple bottoms, we call multiple tops, but we don't sit right here and saying like, oh, we call the top, we call the bottom. You see what I'm saying? Yes, we're going to get some short-term setups, right? But on the macro view, we've been pretty accurate. Okay, we've been pretty accurate on the macro view, right? So now let's go ahead and move on to Iota. So Iota USDT. Okay, So Iota, I gave it like in our, not just the premium setup, but the public group, right? And we talked about it in our previous live stream. Okay, we said Iota next resistance going to be all the way up to $1. And remember, Iota was like in the mid 70s, okay, 70 to 75 range, okay, and we were looking for a 50% move nearly, okay, 40% move. And if we hit the second target, that's going to take us all the way up to 115, which is a nice 60% move, no leverage, okay, 60% move. And we talk about the flat correction on Iota right here, right there, guys. That's a beautiful flat correction. So Iota, it is still looking good, right? If you entered somewhere around like the mid 70s, just move stops, you know, below the low 70s, and let the market you know, do the rest of the work, and you just go to sleep and not worry about like anything else, right? It looks pretty good. So let's take a look at Iota Btc, because we did not check Iota Btc last time. Okay, doesn't look bad, right? Doesn't look bad. Got plenty of room to grow, right? As you can see, it is still making a bottom formation. Okay, it is still making a bottom formation, very choppy. Okay, Iota USD looks better. Okay, but in terms of Fibonacci, right, it could be looking for 382 being the next resistance, and it is at 2200 range, which is another 15% move. Okay, basically coincide with what we're calling for the 115, right? If we go all the way up to a 50% pullback, you're looking for another 26%. If we pump all the way up to a 0.618, you're looking for another 40%. Okay, but it doesn't have to pump that high, right, for Iota USD to hit those targets. Because if BTC pumps like, let's say 10%, and Iota BTC pumps like 16%, right? Iota BTC pumps 16%, you got 26% pump, okay, in Iota USD, okay? But it doesn't have to go that high. But if it does, it means like, whoa, if BTC pumps a little bit, right, it means Iota could basically get the job done, right? But looks pretty good, okay? It looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and move on to File USDT. So File USDT, most of you guys love Filecoin because you guys remember exactly last year, March, actually February, March, yeah, late February, first week of March, we did have a target for Iota up to $200. And remember, Iota was where? The price of Iota was right around like $24. So it is already like late March, and the price of Iota is back to $24. Okay, but nice long position from Iota, not Iota but Filecoin. I don't know what's wrong with me calling Filecoin Iota, but Filecoin looking pretty good. Okay, so entry right here, right, just about like a 17.7, 17.6, right there, and we were looking for 22 first target, second target right here. Okay, I was like, if the move up to 22 is strong enough, we might not even take a break, because I was thinking like we might take a break, create another bull flag right here before going higher. Okay, because that's what we had on LRC USDT, right? When LRC was right around like 73, something like that, took a break at 95 cents before pumping to like a 118, 120. Okay, we hit that target also in our premium. Okay, so we've been getting like nice moves on this alt over the last like a few days, and my reasoning was like, we got to get in early, right? Because most of these coins were at the bottom, right, or like within 10 to 15%, and we were looking for 40 to 50%. So the ratio, the risk to reward ratio was pretty big. Okay, for instance, like Filecoin, okay, 7% stop loss, and you're looking for a 40% move. Okay, take a look at this, guys. That's pretty big. Okay, that's pretty big. That's beautiful. Okay, and that's what we get in our premium. So I don't rush these targets. Most of the time we can stay like a few days without having any short-term setups, because you know, if the market is not giving us any short-term setup, we don't want to rush the trades, right? And the trades ended up being like negative, and you getting stuffed out and all that good stuff. Okay, but once we get a bullish sentiment or a bearish sentiment, you will get like multiple setups. You will get multiple setups. You're not just gonna get one. You can get like up to 10 of them, but you don't want to take like 10, 10 position. I think like maximum, 2 to 4 up to maybe 5, if you can manage your position short term, right, is good enough. I'm not talking about long term. Okay, your long term position, you don't care. For instance, you buy Tesla's at 3.5, $3. If Tesla's down to $2, you don't care. If it pumps to $4, you don't care, because you're looking for those big prices like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, right, and all that good stuff, right? Hopefully, you get the concept and all that good stuff, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at a file BTC. Aladino, thanks a lot for tuning in. Vasquez. Okay, so file BTC looks pretty impulsive. Okay, so last time we talked about it, file was right here, just about like I think like 450, something like that. Okay, and we did say we got a nice wedge pattern, so definitely we can get the breakout, and it still got some juice all the way up to 56,000. all right, right now it is 52,000. okay, you got to add one, yeah, you got to add 2 zeros, okay, because you need 8 zeros, okay, after your decimal. Okay, that's why you got to read it as 52,000. But if you just say like 528 sats, you're saying basically Filecoin worth like a like let's say Zilliqa, something like that. Okay, to 250 sats. Okay, so we could still get another 6 to 10% move versus BTC, all right, before any possible consolidation. Daily still looking pretty good, right? MACD, 2D, it is still looking pretty good. Got plenty of room to grow, right? If we're going to be reversing, okay, got plenty of room to grow, okay, for further move to the upside. Okay, if we get any sort of rejection and BTC does something crazy, we could definitely look for the macro support at 32,000 sats on average. Okay, if we get any sort of rejection, right? But we will talk about it once we get some sort of rejection. So now let's go ahead and take a look at Balancer. So Balancer, if you watch my last few analysis, right, you probably caught the Balancer setup. Beautiful setup, just like Filecoin. I kept it constant. Most of these setups, they look similar, so you know what to look for. Okay, I made sure I was picking the right setups, right? It's pretty much similar setups. Both Balancer and Filecoin looks they look pretty similar. Okay, and they're moving together. Okay, they're moving together, so we could take out the not take out, but we could retest the 15.5 right here in the next like a few days. And if we do take out 15.5, we could be looking for nearly $19 to $20 later on. Okay, as I said, BAL BTC got a low volume, right? It does have a low volume, so if the volume picks up and we take out the triple top resistance right here, of course Balancer USD going to be pumping, okay, because Balancer BTC could pump all the way up to like 30, let's say 35,000. yeah, 35,000, another potential 20% move if we take out the 30,000 resistance right there. Okay, it is the same exact wedge pattern we got on Filecoin also, right? This one is just bigger, okay, but in terms of wedge pattern, it is the same. You got a wedge pattern plus a bull divergence. Okay, RSI, it is still lagging behind, but if it is going to be pretty volatile, you got you got a pretty good move to look out for a potential move all the way up to like even 70. But it means like this guy going to retest like 36,000 sats. Okay, it looks good. capiche? Right? But it is really, it is not time to enter these alt. It is just time to put, you know, stop loss. Not try to be greedy right now, entering these alt after they pump like 25-30%. Okay, I'm not saying to go buy these alt or anything, because we already talked about this alt like over the last few days. If you are in my public group, right, Telegram group, I sent like, you know, Filecoin, Iota, and multiple other alt. Okay, NEAR. Okay, we talked about NEAR USDT, right, and all that good stuff. ICP also, when ICP was as, you know, $16-17. Right now we're looking to take out like $22, $23, or even $25 over the next like a few days, right? So I'm gonna take a look at the chat room. It is already 1:05, 1 hour and 5 minutes. Okay, to see if you guys have any question regarding any other alt. Okay, Hamza in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hamza Moonboy. Chani in the house, thanks a lot for tuning in, man. Stargate STG DYDX. Hey, thanks a lot for Chani. Yes, we on the macro level, guys, we've been spot on. Like, it is not easy to call for like a, you know, 50% dump on BTC, or to call for a 400% pump, you know, on BTC. It's not easy, right? It requires time. Okay, so if you if you're not patient enough and you're only looking at the 1 second chart, or even like up to the 1 minute chart, you're not going to be able to wait for those 400% move, you know, 500% move. And some of these alt, they're going to pump like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 100x. We've seen it, guys. We've seen it between like late 2020, right, September 2020, until, you know, April 2021. You've seen what happened. Okay, FTM, OEN, IOST, you name it, multiple coins, they pump like 100x. And we call most of them from like 13 million market cap, you know, to like 30 million market cap, to like 5 billion market cap, like FTM. When I called FTM was pretty cheap. When I called for CHR was like, you know, it was like 13 million, 10 million market cap. Okay, and you know what happened with CHR. It pumped like nearly $500 million, over $500 million, right? But you got to be patient with those calls, because sometimes, you know, it can take like 6 to 9 or 12 months before we get a real alt season. But you will be getting like mini alt season, you know, 50% pump, 100% pump. Everyone gets excited and they dump, reaccumulate. But once we start the mega pump, all you have to do is just say goodbye to your family. I'm going to the moon. I'll see you back later. I see you guys back later. Okay, so we will see if we're going to enter a mega alt season, and that could be you know, that could take us like to 10 trillion, you know, total market cap. Okay, that could take us to 10 trillion total market cap. But the main thing is like BTC looks pretty good. Okay, I'm not trying to be a moon boy. You guys know I was pretty bearish. You know, first week of December, I know we were expecting 100k in December, some people, but I said, you know, it's bearish. We just have to wait till we just have to suck it up until we get, you know, another reversal, right? Ether was at 41, 42. You know, I was calling for Ether to retest like the monthly 21, weekly 100 EMA, you know, mid 2500 to low 2200 range. We did that exactly, right? So if you did not accumulate or at least buy back your Ether back then, you know, you might be saying like, oh man, we just pumped. But you gotta pay attention to those macro calls, right? You gotta pay attention to those macro calls. So let's go ahead and take a look at SD Stargate. Is it a SD? I can find it. It says Stargate. I don't know. You say Stargate. Yeah. It's pretty new, so maybe that's why I can't find it. Okay, it's pretty new. I mean it's pretty new, so it's nothing I can do. It just came out like last month. It looks like it is making a double top, double bottom, so you could definitely be retesting like the 250 right here. Okay, right now it is at 350. It's pretty new, so I can't do anything with this guy. Okay. I see. Mr. Shu, ICX. I'm more interested in ICX BTC. And as I told you, just accumulate the dips right here. Okay. If you sold anywhere around like 2,500 and you bought back around like 18, 19, it is still okay, right? As long as we do not take out the 1,200 sats, right? We're still in a macro reaccumulation, so don't worry about the bottom unless you are short-term trading and reaccumulating. You're looking pretty good. You just about the January 2021 lows right there. If you did not break it, just sit tight, relax. Okay, see, if you believe in the project, just sit tight, relax. It is at the bottom, because if we take out 5,000, it is likely to go all the way up to 10,000 to 18,000 range. Okay, because the March 2019 prices, remember I've been saying like most of these alt, they will retest their March 2019. And yes, ICX retested it like back in August 20, actually January, February 2020, 2 years ago, it retested its March 2019 prices, right? So if we're going to be breaking out, it is likely to go all the way up to like, let's say June 2018 prices, which is going to be somewhere around like 18,000 to 20,000. And you got plenty of time to reaccumulate. It's not like ICX just hit like 2,000 and bounce right back up. So you got at least right now 2 months of accumulation. Could you get like a longer period of reaccumulation? Absolutely, right? But once we break out to the upside, you just don't want to be chasing it. You just want to sit tight, relax, and be laughing. Okay, laughing at new bulls. Okay, promoting your coin you reaccumulated at the bottom, like what happened to a FTM BTC. You see, when we started to accumulate, FTM BTC was right there. Okay, 100 sats. It dumped all the way down to 50 sats, and we still bought. Okay, we're buying the dips, right? And after it pumped all the way up to like, let's say 1,500 sats and all that good stuff, now you can see like people talking about FTM going to be the new BTC, going to be the new Ethereum and all that good stuff. You're just laughing and selling, right? Because you bought the dip when no one was talking about FTM. Okay, we did not buy at 500 sats. We were buying right here, 100 sats all the way down to 50 sats, and that's a 50% cut. Okay, but you were looking for some macro directional move like 100x, right? So just suck it up, buy the dips, not financial advice, and send it to the ledger, and forget about it. Okay. XTZ. Izmir is saying like it feels like a trap. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. You can call it whatever you want, but but we will see. I just don't have any bearish setup as of now. I'm just gonna sit tight, relax, watch the market do whatever it wants to do, right, over the next like a couple of days. Sit tight in your position, put a stop loss, and just enjoy the ride. It's not time to be, you know, to be stressful about like finding some bearish setup, because I can't find any. I'm not saying like they can't dump, right? But if BTC, as I said, when it comes to BTC, we're above the monthly 21, right? We're above the monthly 21, and we're above the 3 weeks, quarterly 21, monthly 21, 3 weeks 21, weekly 21, 3D 21, daily 21, okay, 12-hour 21. So if I sit right here, you know, trying to be a hero and trying to short right here, it might take forever to get a breakout. Okay, it could do something like that, like forever, until basically all the moving averages, right, start to lose momentum. Okay, something like that on the 12-hour, you know, on the daily, you know, something like that, right, on the, you know, 3D, right, on the weekly, right, the weekly is already there, right, and on the monthly. So it could take forever before we get a clear directional move, okay, in the short to medium term. So you don't want to enter a, if you're looking for a 20-30% move, you don't want to enter too early. But if you're looking for like 3%, 5%, yes, you can short, you know, at resistance. You can even short at, you know, short right here, you know, 47, 48, because you're looking for a 1% move, right? All right, you got your 1%, but I'm not looking for 1%, right? I'm not. Or you could short at 52, right? If you're looking for a short, just short at 52, right? Because you're definitely going to get at least a 1 to 3% rejection, right? And you could put a stop loss, but you could get kicked out very quickly, right? Because it might be very choppy in this range to basically take out everyone before making a decision of a continuation or a reversal, okay, in the short to medium term, like from the bottom right here. That's what I mean, continuation or reversal, right? Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Tezos is Bezosing. So Tezos is Bezosing, right? It could pump all the way up to 4.5, 4.8, but the big resistance is going to be 5.5. Okay, so if you accumulated enough Tezos right here, you know, averaging, let's say $3, if we pump to $6, you might want to take some, you know, take some off the table and see what the market will do. And if we dump like 20-30%, you can add back to your position and just go back to sleep. That's exactly what I said in my premium, okay, when Tezos was at roughly around like $3. I said if we pump to $5.5 to $6, make sure to just secure some profits, right, if you've been accumulating right here, because we can definitely add back to our position even if we retest like $4, 4.5, because that's going to be a nice 25% move, and it means that you could increase your position at least by 13% if you sold 50% right here, and basically just add back fit after, you know, a 25% drop, you will increase your holding by 13.5, which is pretty good, right, without doing any work. Okay, if you're comfortable, if you're waiting for the next 3 to 5 years, you don't care, bang, you just let it do the work. But short term, 4.5 to 4.8, right, and after that you could be looking for 5.5. Everything looks good daily. 2D, 3D. The 3D was negative like a couple weeks ago right here, but after we just flipped bullish. Okay, yeah, it was slightly bearish right here, and I was like, okay, if we continue our downtrend, it's okay, right? We won't be buying at least, you know, I mean, unless we retest like, you know, 1.5 to a $1 range. So we don't worry about like if Tesla's dump below 2.5, okay? Because you want to be reaccumulating like every, you know, 50%, 40%, not every 10%. Now, CNS. So let's take a look at CNS. Yeah. I mean, it is at the bottom. I think we just pumped like, you know, 20%, something like that. But it is at the bottom, right? It is at the bottom. So it is time to just sit tight, relax. The volume is pretty low. So it is a good time to be accumulating with the selling pressure being negative, right? And your weekly MACD could pop positive at any given time right there, and it will just say goodbye. Okay, it will just say goodbye. You will try to chase it, it won't care. It won't, you know, it won't basically dump for to fill your orders, right? So you could call it a descending triangle, whatever you want to call it, but you know, just accumulate at the bottom, right? You're not buying right here, right? You're not buying right there, and you're not buying right here. So, but you're buying right here, and right there. I don't think the bottom is in, right? Because we on the weekly MACD is not even up yet, and we haven't seen yet a pop in volume, so I can't say like the bottom is in. But if you know, if you want to base our analysis based on what happened before, bang, okay, bang, okay. After this low volume, decreasing low volume, what you ended up getting is like a big spike in volume. That's what I just tried to explain to you on BTC on a monthly basis, right? That's what I tried to explain to you on BTC on a monthly basis, right? Decreasing volume, okay? You're going to get a spike in volume, okay? We just don't know when, but we will get one. Okay, we will get one for a potential big breakout. So thanks a lot for hitting the likes, guys. Thanks a lot, man. We got 21 watching. Make sure to share the content, right? And you know, we've been pretty good on the macro level, right? We've been very constant. We're not here to call the tops or the bottom, right? Or the bottoms. We're just here to stay with the trend. Let's go ahead and take a look at ICP. Someone asked about ICP. So ICP, it is still looking good, guys. I mean, right now we've taken out 23, right, as we said, guys. So we've been killing it in our premium, guys. So if you want to join the premium group, make sure to at least join the public Telegram group or the public Discord group and send me a message. We've been killing it, guys. ICP, we talked about it at 16 when it was like somewhere around like 16.8, 17.1, somewhere around here, and we were looking for the 30%, 40% move. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Okay, beautiful call, guys. Beautiful call. A similar move to what? To Filecoin. Okay, so we hit Filecoin, Balancer, near, you know, ICP, you name it, CRV, it is still pumping. Okay, Solana, we talked about it last week. We said, you know, in our premium wedge pattern, it is going to be breaking out. Take a look at CRV. But the ICP, it is just a short-term trade, okay, to the year 23, 24, okay. But the macro trade for ICP is over $100, so it is still a good hold, right? Even if we drop below $14. Okay, so CRV, beautiful wedge pattern, still looking forward to break out up to 3.5. Bang, guys, we've been killing it, guys. We've been killing it. So if you want to join Send Premium for these, macro targets for BTC, short to medium term trade for alt, send me a message, right? And I got 50% discount right now going on. I will send all the information, right, before before end of the month, right, the first week of March. It will end the first week of March. Okay, if you want to join the premium, you will get a 50% discount only. It will last only for 1 week, right? So make sure to take advantage of the 50% discount. I don't give a lot of discount like all the time, but when I give one, I make sure it is a good one, a 50% one, right? Not a 20% discount. A compound, we talked about compound a couple days ago also, right? Someone asked about comp, so look for the 140, 148, right? It could pop. Compound can be crazy sometimes. It is pretty volatile. I remember calling the bottom back in 2020 right here at $80. Okay, I was like, it is time to buy compound, right? But now I can't say it is a bottom. We will see if we break out above 148, 180 and all that good stuff, if the bottom is already in. Okay, the 108 to 136, it is the macro bottom formation, but we will see if we can take out the 140, 150 and all that good stuff and start a new macro uptrend. Okay, but overall it is a double bottom. It did not retest the $80, but we retested 90, 95. It is good enough. Okay, it is good enough. But I did not even basically inspect the let me see if I can find the compound setup. Okay, so that is it right here. That's the compound macro setup right here. Accumulation at 108, 137 to 108. Okay, and now it is still in range. Okay, even though it dumped down to like 193, it is still in range. The reason for 137 down to 108, it is because of the 1.78, I mean not 1.786, but 0.786, right? And 0.888, the gap right here. Okay, so on average, let's say 120. Okay, if we dump down to 80, 82, low 80s, it is still going to be a good range to be accumulating, because it could be the bottom of the last retest of the trend line support right here, where we're going to be going for a macro bull trend to the upside. Okay, assuming we're not going to be completely oversold right here to create more downside, right? But as of now, it looks pretty good. Okay, it looks pretty good, compound right there. So let's eat some cake USDT. So guys, make sure to hit the likes, right, and sub to the channel. So cake USDT kind of got a different pattern, but it got the job done. It was a wedge pattern, right? But it is just it's not like the pattern we had on Filecoin. So nice pattern right here. So next resistance all the way up to $12 if we can take out the 8.5. Okay, if we can take out the 8.5. Okay, so if we get another pattern, something like that, you might just follow the trend line support right here. Okay, if we get any sort of rejection over the next like a few weeks, just follow the short-term trend line support right here, and that it could give you a good support for the next like a pump, like what we just had right here. Okay, like what we just got at 5.3. But as of now, it looks pretty good. Okay, beautiful 2D divergence right there. So let's go ahead and take a look at sushi. I don't think I talked about sushi, but you're talking about cake. Let's take some sushi right here. Okay, so sushi, a nice setup right here, right? So kind of look like cake also, right? Same setup, because as now I look at cake, I know you know, I got a setup similar to the cake setup, right? So nice wedge pattern on the 2D. I could push higher to 4.35 and you know could get rejected at 4.7 to $5, right? All right. I think we covered most of these coins, right? It's 1 hour and a half. BAT. So BAT resistance, it is just about like 0.99. I'm not sure if it is going to break it, right? But it could follow the overall trend and try to break it and go all the way up to like 120 range. Okay, 120. I just don't have time to show you guys the macro setup for BAT, but you know, if we break out the $1, the next resistance up to 120, but the macro support, you know, if we get any capitulation or any fake out, just look for the 44 cents right there. That's going to be a good range to buy, just like Matic USDT. You know, it looks like it wants to go higher up to right here, so it is still looking good. I talked about Matic last week also in my premium group, right, for a move all the way up to $2, but it is still going to be a bearish pattern, so you don't want to be too bullish on Matic if we break out like above $2, right? So and stop loss was somewhere around like 1.3, and you could be looking for the $2 range. Okay, and it looks pretty good also on the 2D basis. If you take a look at your RSI, it is still looking pretty good. I don't see any downtrend, a strong downtrend momentum, right? When it comes to the RSI, I can't find anything. I mean, you could do something like that, right? But you could do something like that, right? Yeah, could do something like that. But we will see if we break out above the $2, $2 range, we could later on discuss the possible continuation to the upside, right? But it looks pretty good in the short to medium term for a possible 20% move. Okay, we're looking for the 36% move. Okay, already got 16%. Yeah, TRB. I talked about TRB quickly, really quickly last time, right? Did not go into details because I was saying like it looks like a Filecoin, and I was saying like which one will hit 25 first. It seems like Filecoin already hit 25, right? So TRB most likely going to give us a short. This, it is going to be a nice 6% move if you're looking for a short term, like a setup. Okay, 8 to 10% move. If the move is pretty volatile, you could be looking for the 32 or 32 right here. $30 to $32. So most people don't talk about TRB, but it can be pretty volatile. Right? It can be pretty volatile. Yeah, I remember calling the bottom for TRB right there at $16, $17 back in December 2020, and BLZ also. I remember because BLZ was 15 cents, 17 cents, and TRB was at $17 and $17 to $18, and as you can see, it pumped like 800%. And we called it from the bottom right here, just accumulate TRB, right? All right, guys, I'm just gonna call it a day. All right, so if market stays volatile, we will go for another live stream, right, and review some of these alt. So SXP, most of you guys haven't been talking about it, right? Sleeping on SXP. I know it's been pretty boring over the last few weeks, but keep an eye on it, right? Don't want to be too bullish because most people are going to be talking about it if we pump like to a 250 range. Okay, the setup looks pretty good, right? Nothing crazy in terms of bearishness. Broke out above the RSI resistance. MACD is telling you, hey man, just stick with the trend. So just stick with the trend. Okay, if we get any shakeouts, right, you got your 140 support. Okay, or even like down to a 50% to 0.618, depending on how you want to look at it, right? But it is starting to look good for a move all the way up to 210 to 225, right? All right, guys, I'm just going to keep it short, right? It is already 1 hour and a half. Thanks a lot for watching.